You know, I did call like a conference final game last year, They're like, that, yeah, but 2K? So the cool factor in my family and friend circle went through the roof because I'm associated with it now.
And you have an NBA podcast with all the conversations around the NBA. So do you think that helped you at all for recording?
Yeah, definitely. And I think just in general, just all the studio work I've done over the years. And now this year, I finally was on a full game slate. And that's kind of what this is. You're getting the feel for calling a game. So that to me became more natural because I had a full season under my belt. So there's no doubt all of those things have helped me with this experience.
You've been broadcasting for a really long time. Do you have one specific moment that you remember that has been the best moment of your entire broadcasting career?
Being in the building and then doing the post-game breakdown on the Ray Allen shot that forced the Game 7 against San Antonio. That was probably the most unlikely ending to a game I've ever seen. And to this day, still not exactly sure how he pulled that off in the moment to backpedal to the corner without stepping out of bounds or getting behind the line. So I was there right by the court when it happened. Larry O'Brien trophy is sitting off in the tunnel. They're ready to wheel it out onto the court. Then they had to get it out of there because now we have a Game 7. And then I had to go immediately on TV afterwards and sort of break that moment down. So I think for me, just the shock value of that, the big game moment and knowing what it was going to lead to with this epic Game 7 coming our way, that's probably one that definitely stands out to me.
I know that you're known as one of the best basketball minds in the game. If you could name a few players that you think have the best basketball minds, like high IQ, who would they be?
Well, for sure, you start, I think, the top with LeBron James. I think LeBron is just one of those guys I think his IQ has been the one part of his game that's probably never been talked about enough because of all his physical traits that he brings to the table. His ability to anticipate and see things before they happen is like that special elite level that separates guys. I'd put Luka Doncic in that category as well. I think Luka's one of those guys that's always seeing things one step ahead, and then Nikola Jokic probably as well. Just those are guys that they have to have that component because they won't overwhelm you physically. So they have to do it a different way, and it's their ability to understand how all other 9 players are moving at the same time. It makes those guys special and rare.
And I know you played shooting guard, so what are some of the shooting guards you like to watch today?
Klay Thompson was always a guy that I idolized, just watching him play. And, Steph Curry, I think, is labeled like a point guard, but for me, he plays more like an off guard. So obviously, as a guy that shot the basketball, I'm going to hone in on the 2 guys that did it better than anybody else I've ever seen. So those are guys that always are going to get my attention when they're playing.
And for players who are hopping on the game in NBA 2K26 and they hear your voice, what are you hoping that they get from it?
Well, first of all, I'm just hoping that they go, yeah, man, like this guy needs to be on this game. Like, we like his analysis. We've liked his analysis. I love when players come up to me and tell me they love what I'm doing and they love the way I'm breaking down the game. Even sometimes guys that I've been critical about, because I have to as part of my job, will come up to me and hug me and say, hey, man, love your analysis. So the validation from the players probably means more than anything because those are the guys that, I did it. They respect that I did it at one time and that I'm fair to them. So I think for me, that's going to be, I want the reaction to be. Like, they hear my voice, like, oh, they got legs on the game, man. That's cool. Like, this is a good element in adding to the game this year.
Well, thank you so much and congratulations on being a part of the family.
Thank you. Good to be here. Woo-hoo!
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. So glad you could join us on this Saturday night. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Tim Legler and Greg Anthony. And our reporter on the sideline tonight, Allie LaForce. Now the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. They've got Herbert Jones. Fears is out there with Trey Murphy. Then it's Sadiq Bey. And it's Queen in at the 5 down low. And for the Warriors, Butler is the 4, and Green operates as the small ball center. Dixon is out there with Curry, and it's Moody in at the 3. When your team is looking at a back-to-back, how do you approach the first game of the 2, Tim?
Well, I think you may go to your bench a little bit more early, lengthen your rotation, especially if the game isn't all that close. You're not going to see any starters play heavy minutes in that situation.
Are you thinking as a coach we have a better chance against this team than that team? Does it ever enter that kind of conversation?
It definitely does, but it can also be a dangerous approach if you think there's a particular matchup that doesn't favor you in some way.
Yep, that one goes in there.
Nice effort taking the early lead. Here we go.
Always good to see the ball go through the net early. You know there's not a lid on that thing.
Fears with it, guarded by Curry. Green the pass to Jones. Here's Bay. New Orleans moving the ball around. 6 on the shot clock. Driving inside. A nice shot by Fears.
No fear from young Jeremiah Fears. He actually invites the contact on that drive.
Curry deciding where to go with it. Takes it from 10, and he gets the bucket.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
Fears with it, guarded by Curry. And that one drops.
It's hard to get Fears rattled. Even when the D's this physical, this kid keeps his poise.
From outside the arc, Curry gets the bucket. Curry's got 5 points so far.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And now they are just going to keep riding that momentum with the hot hand.
Fears' shot is off. Warriors have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. He gets that one.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Last outing for the Pelicans, it was a loss to the Grizzlies. Pass to Queen. From deep three-point land. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Wow, you love that. You come right out and hit 5 straight. It doesn't get any better than that.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. And Jimmy Butler is what some might call an old-school kind of player. Would you agree, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, he's all toughness, grit, and basketball IQ. A tone setter at the defensive end who plays unselfishly. That guy is all about winning.
Tim, some forget, prior to the success of Stephen Curry, the Warriors were not considered a top-tier franchise.
Well, before he arrived in 2009, this was one of the lowest all-time winning percentages, but they have built a dynasty, and they are now considered one of the most valuable franchises in all of sports.
And maneuvering into position, they moving the needle.
Here's Dixon, and the layup's good off the glass. He has 6.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Pass to Queen. Now Bay. 5 to shoot. Draymond Green pulls it in.
Well, they did a great job putting a body on him, and they didn't allow him to convert.
And slam dunk by Butler.
And there's Jimmy Butler later on in his career, but still showing you the athleticism.
Pelicans trail by 9. Pass to Bay. Here's Fears. Here's Queen. Nothing on the board. Bay passes to Queen. 4 on the clock. Jones. It's clocked. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Shot clock at 3. Score of the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt. Warriors leading by 7. Dixon passes to Green. Here's Dixon. Good. Great play by Green to set it up. 9 points for Smooth.
Oh, great ball movement there.
For New Orleans, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Going inside. Here's Bay. Pelicans keep it alive. And Queen gets it to go.
And a better box out saves them 2 points there.
Nothing will drive your coach crazier than what you just saw. Lack of focus and lack of effort.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Fears. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. So Greg, talking about Jeremiah Fears for a second here. Both he and his brother, Jeremy Jr., played college basketball at the same time during the 24-25 season.
Clearly, this sport runs in their family. Jeremiah's fearlessness and competitive spirit have made him an enticing prospect, and I'm sure he attests he owes that, at least partially, to Jeremy.
Now here's Jones after the miss from Dixon. And one of those high-variance teams, at times the Pelicans seem like a factor, but other times they falter. How do you evaluate them?
Yeah, they certainly have some top-tier talent at the top of the roster, but they've had a very difficult time staying healthy, and ultimately that always interrupts your momentum.
It sure does. And the Warriors making a change here. Kuminga's checked in. The Warriors shooting their first free throws of the game. Now in his late 30s, Steph Curry, Tim, continues to be a dominant force.
Well, his conditioning is on a world-class level, Kevin. He's never been one to beat you with his explosiveness, so his plan is just to outlast his opponents.
Here's Queen. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game, and the basket is good.
Assist from Derek Queen.
And here are the Warriors now. They lead by 7. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, you saw the communication breakdowns defensively, just giving up way too many open looks.
Well, they say film doesn't lie, and you could just imagine these guys watching this film. It's going to be an ugly sight for sure.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Butler on the way. And Fears pulls it down. Lets it go with a 3. Does not find the target. That makes him 3 for 5. Inside, here's Dixon. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Dixon's got 13.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
And so here is New Orleans. They trail by 7. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And you look at the addition of Jimmy Butler. G.A., why has he been such a fit for the Warriors?
He really is an unselfish, high IQ superstar, and that's what the Warriors are all about. And his isolation, interior scoring has given them another look offensively.
The Warriors making a switch here. Horford's checked in. The Pelicans also changing it up. Yves Missi, he's checked in for Bay, and Murray subbed in for Fears. Murray for 3. And Curry pulls it down. And it's Curry with the ball, bringing it up for Golden State. 7-point differential. Their last encounter was in New Orleans, where they were able to handle the Pelicans.
Yeah, really ratcheted up the pressure in their last matchup, getting steals and just creating havoc defensively.
Well, turning defense into offense is important, and they did it at the highest level in that one.
Now here's Murray. He's coming off a 25-point game against Memphis. To the left wing. Clock at 6. And the call will go against Jonathan Kuminga. That's his first. So it's Golden State with it. So the Pelican 5 right now. Saddiq Bey is out there with Herbert Jones. Then it's Fears. Then it's Jose Alvarado. And it's Queen, and at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Pelicans.
And guys, they've done a great job feeding their bigs inside They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
And we talk about winning games at the margins all the time. That's exactly what they're doing because they are throwing bodies on the offensive glass.
Here's Fears. He's coming off a 40-point game against Memphis. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Dixon's shot is off. The Pelicans trail. Now Jones. Here's Fears. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, that's helping your team. By and large, he's taking shots he knows he can make.
For New Orleans, they have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
And one of the highlights on the season has been their ability to make free throws. How about 82% as a unit?
Now here's Butler. A 24-point outing in their last game against Houston. Green passes to Moody. Here's Dixon. Offensive rebound. Pass to Green. Now here's Moody. Shot clock at 6. Dixon's shot is off. Alvarado with it. 9-point game his last outing. Now Fears. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Dixon. That's tipped.
Nothing going his way this quarter offensively. Time to recalibrate.
Bay passes to Alvarado. Now Fears. And there's the put it down hard.
Watch out below. Woo!
I just love the energy and heart this young man Fears plays with.
And another look at that last play with the AT&T connected cam. Dixon's shot is off.
He just doesn't look like himself this quarter. Something's missing.
He seems like he's moving okay, but clearly something isn't right.
Here's Dixon. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game.
Derek Queen.
Now let's take a look at some of the numbers for him. The Warriors have been excellent at the free throw line here today, a flawless 6 for 6.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line. And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
Here's Alvarado. Still scoreless. Pass to Bay. Here's Alvarado. Back to Bay. Uncovered. Off the left rim and up.
Gotta knock down that shot. When you don't, you're letting the defense off the hook.
And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by.
Well, he better focus now. His efficiency is dropping, but there is enough game left to make corrections.
We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
Thank you, guys. Well, Draymond Green is getting serious in the weight room. He said one thing I learned is you have to lift weights. I was always naturally strong, so I was like, what do I need to lift for? These guys can't move me right now. But your body needs to be able to withstand the pounding of a long season. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Allie, we thank you. Here's Fears after the made shot from Dixon. Here's Alvarado. Here's Fears. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down.
Assisted by
16 points for Jeremiah Fears. Here's Dixon. He's got 21. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And while this has never been the strongest part of Butler's game, Jimmy can certainly hit a three.
Pass to Queen. Up top, Bay, defended by Butler. It's tipped and stolen by Butler. Dixon passes to Green. Here's Dixon. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists in the game.
This is what separates Green from most bigs, a point forward who excels at passing.
The Pelicans have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Here's Fears. Green with the block. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. And Jones now atop the key. Pass to Fears. 6 to shoot. 8 feet away. Asking number 8 is all good. He's attempted 12 shots.
This looks like it's going to be a big night for him.
A nice shot by Dixon. Dixon's got 25 points in the game.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
The Pelicans have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second. 5 of 10. Pass to Fear. Jimmy Butler comes up with the rebound. The Warriors leading. Down low. And there's Green on the assist by Butler.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. You know, Tim, they say you can't measure heart, but Jimmy Butler, he plays with a lot of heart. He is non-stop.
Well, you can talk about his skill level and IQ, but Kevin, what you love about Butler is his competitive will, and he saves his best for the postseason.
Pelicans trail by 3. Pass to Bay. Jones looking for an opening. Back to Bay. Now Fears. Here's Alvarado. Shot clock at 5. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires.
How about that move? You'll see very few players able to pull off just sensational stuff. And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Fears with it, guarded by Dixon. Green with the block.
Aggression. That's how Draymond plays defense.
Kuminga's come in for the Warriors. And a change for the Pelicans. Trey Murphy's checked in for Jose Alvarado. Outside, Jones. Pass to Fears. From 11 feet away, Jimmy Butler with the rebound. Butler's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Dixon. Good, and Butler gets the assist. Butler's got his 6th assist on the night.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Fears with it. 18 points for him. Driving to the basket. Up again. It's good on the putback.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Dixon passes to Kuminga. And it's out of bounds to the Pelicans. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Take a look at the Warriors. 4th in the conference, an excellent season so far for them, though they'd like to jump into the top tier, maybe the top 3. And checking out New Orleans, a game and a half out.
And right now for the Warriors, they've already shown they're going to be a dangerous team this season. It's just a matter of whether or not they can take that next big step.
And they are right where everyone thought they would be, and now it's just going to be fun to see where they go from here.
Pelicans trail by 3. Now Fears. 20 points for him.
It continues to make plays offensively, having a very efficient quarter.
Moody the pass to Butler. Here's Dixon. Outside, Kuminga. 17-foot shot on the way. That one off the back iron and out. A nice shot by Dixon. Dixon's got 31 points.
And that is killer instinct, just continuing to pile it on.
Here's Fears. 22 points for him. Banked in off the glass. Fears has got 24 points.
Sooner or later, you knew Fears was going to take over. He has been outstanding tonight. Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
In the step back. That one a little long. Golden State's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Dixon. Pass to Moody. Butler deciding where to go with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Green, no luck.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Here's Queen. Defended by Butler. Now Fears. Out to the right wing. Bay in the post. Guarded by Green. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. GA, the Pelicans, free.
Substitution.
So it's the Golden State Warriors
That's the end of
going
the second
into the
quarter
break with a
the score.
10-point lead.
Your
Their
Warriors
shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific.
58.
We've got more in store for you right after this.